Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today we are taking a look at the USS Reliant from Wave 0. With base stats of 2 attack, 2 agility, 3 hull, and 3 shields, it doesn't seem all that impressive. But there are a lot of tricks we can use to make this ship something special. So let's dive in and see what we've got. The named ship has 2 crew slots and 1 weapon, but more importantly, the named ability is that you gain +1 attack die when firing at range 1, meaning you get 4 attack dice with your primary weapon, and if you use a secondary weapon, you get an extra attack die. That is critical. We also have the standard Federation action bar, evade, target lock, scan, and battle station, so we've got a good foundation here. 6 durability is not amazing, but with 2 agility, we've got something to build upon. Our maneuver dial is actually really nice. We've only got 4 green maneuvers, but it's pretty good. More importantly, we've got a 2 and 3 hard turn that are white, and we've got a 180 forward firing arc and a 90 rear. So this makes the Reliant an ideal torpedo boat. The only thing that it's really missing is a tech slot, but we can get that with systems upgrade. The generic, of course, loses a shield and the named ability. It also loses a crew slot. For that reason, I'm saying let's ignore the generic for now, although it does make for a nice cheap torpedo boat if you really want it. Although at this point I'd say that the NX-01 Enterprise makes for a better second ship, but if you're looking for maybe a third or fourth, then a Reliant is where you want to go. We get 2 captains in this pack. The first one is Clark Tyrell. He's skill 2, costs 1 point. Any friendly ship within range 1 of your ship gains +1 defense die. Pretty good ability. I wish he also gave his own ship an extra defense die, but that would probably be more than 1 point. Still, he is great for a swarm fleet, and that's becoming a little more plausible these days. He is also good to put on a support ship when you're running a super defensive build. He probably creates a target that people want to shoot first, but that's okay if they're taking out the piece that isn't the most important part of your build. So Clark Tyrell, solid ability for 1 point, skill 2, you don't really care if you lose him, defense dice are fickle, but he's worthwhile. Our other captain is Con Singh. Skill 8 gives you a talent, 5 points. You may use any upgrades without paying a faction penalty. During an attack, if you spend a battle stations token, each of your battle stations results becomes a critical instead of a normal hit. Well, we love Con. This is amazing on Federation ships, on something like the Alpha Hunter, on the Scimitar if you can find a way to get battle stations on it, anything with a high number of attack dice. To give it battle stations, to get crits through, is a really worthwhile thing. Inflicting those conditions on your opponent that really mess with their ship hurts a lot. Also, in an unlimited environment, not paying faction penalties will net you an extra upgrade, and that could make the difference between having a winning fleet build and not. Now, is Con an everyday gotta play him captain? No, I don't think so. But he's still in my very short list of versatile captains, and probably on my top 10, maybe my top 5, just because of how good he is and how much he suits my personal playstyle. Our elite talents in this pack relate to Con, and the first one is I Stab at Thee. It's a 3-point independent talent, and it says if your ship was just destroyed, roll 3 attack dice and inflict the resulting damage on all ships within range 1 of your ship. These ships do not roll defense dice against this damage. I Stab at Thee is a great card if you put it on a ship that you're pretty sure is going to be destroyed. Of course, you don't ever want to lose a ship, but I Stab at Thee is a nice insurance policy. It means that your opponent either wants to kill it quickly from range 3, or they want to make sure that they have more than 3 health left when they do kill it. Of course, it also leads to you not wanting to bunch your ships up because you don't want to do damage to yourself. But still, I Stab at Thee is a really nice option to have. The other talent is Superior Intellect. It's 5 points, also independent. And it says, action, discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked and has no active shields. Steal 1 face-up upgrade card of your choice from that ship, even if the upgrade exceeds your ship's restrictions. Stealing, that's the mechanic that is really hard to prevent. Stealing is the thing that can win you games in a tournament environment. It says, I get to use that, you don't get to use it anymore. You have to put the hurt on them, but it's not impossible to do. And there's so many builds right now that depend on all these pieces going right in order to work, that if you can mess up one piece, the build falls apart and you can destroy them. There are a lot of mirror builds that rely on enhanced hull plating. Yank it, it's gone. You can mess with crew, with tech, with weapons even. Just get in there, pull it off. Even if you can't actually use it because of ship restrictions, in terms of it can only go on a Vulcan ship or something like that, take it, they don't have it, and that's good for you. So Superior Intellect has a plethora of applications, definitely worthwhile. For crew, we start off with Follower of Khan. Action, if your ship is not cloaked, disable all of your remaining shields and target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked and has no active shields. Discard this card and 1 crew upgrade of your choice on the target ship. Not amazing, not terrible, it's 1 point. It's a 1 point gank card. Again, it's kind of like Superior Intellect. If you can put the hurt on them, then this is a card that messes up their wheel. That's maybe a big if, but if you can do it, then this helps you finish them. What I prefer Followers of Khan for is cheap fodder for an ability like Lore or Benjamin Sisko Mirror, where you can discard crew in order to gain an extra effect, and these guys are cheap. Our next crew is Kyle, Federation, 2 points. Action, if you performed a green maneuver this round, repair 1 shield and reduce your total attack dice by 2 this round. Well, it's certainly not the best repair card in the game. However, it is nice to have a cheap repair card in the game. In unlimited play, Kyle doesn't come out because Glendaro, Captain O'Brien do it better. But in Ship Pure and Fleet Pure, Kyle has a place. The condition is a little tough, having to do a green maneuver and only getting 1 shield back and losing 2 attack dice. It's kind of rough, especially in a world where Fed has dorsal phaser array, meaning that you should get a shot almost every round. But 1 extra shield can enable a lot of combos. Multi-adaptive shields from the Raven, improved deflector screens from the Gornaris. They're cards that rely on having shields. Also, shields tend to prevent people from messing with your upgrades, so Kyle is good protection from a lot of those things. The next crew is Pavel Chekov, 3 points. Your ship can remove 1 auxiliary power token after performing a white maneuver. Well, he is amazing on Voyager. Voyager gets aux power for using the 360 fire. It has no red maneuvers on the dial. Chekov means that you're getting rid of the aux power no matter what move you do. Chekov is also good on the Enterprise E because it takes aux power to fire torpedoes, and this way you can get rid of that aux power a lot easier. So really, if you have any kind of a build where you're consistently taking aux power and you need to get rid of it, Chekov is the best way to do it. He's a little pricey at 3 points, but he is consistent, and he's not a disable, he's not a discard, and that makes him very worthwhile. Our last crew is Joachim. He's 4 points, independent, and he says each time you inflict a critical on an enemy ship's hull, you may draw 2 damage cards and choose which one to place beside the enemy ship card. Discard the other one. I love this. I wish it wasn't 4 points, because that's often too much for this ability. But in combination with Con, you can use this maybe 5 times a game, maybe more. And that is really cool. You get to pick the worst of the worst to give to your opponent and make them truly suffer. I know that sounds meaner than it is, but in the spirit of the game, where you're just trying to wreck the other guy's ship, Joachim helps you do that faster, right? You want a direct hit to kill them off? Well, there you go. Maybe you just snuck in 1 crit, you can give them a warp core breach and hope for the best. Joachim gives you options, and options are always better than no options. So Joachim, cool card, great in combination with Con, great on a high attack ship with battle stations, really good with Toreth, where you consistently have a crit if you're looking for steady damage, but overall a little too pricey to be super competitive, much more on the situational mission play side of things. Still a fun card for me though. And then the last card in this pack is Photon Torpedoes, which don't really matter. So the Reliant. How do you truly make it work? Well, you have to have a secondary weapon. That truthfully means going off faction, because the Federation do not have photon torpedoes that work at range 1. But if you go off faction, you get things like Energy Dissipator, which is great. You get things like Disruptor Beams from the Romulans, all the dorsal weapons arrays. Basically, any weapon that works at range 1 works better on the Reliant than anything else. Ferengi Missile Launchers, the thing that gives you 2 attacks, now gives you 2 attacks with 3 dice instead of with 2 dice. That's good. The Reliant really is a versatile platform. If you want it to be a cheap ship, it can be. If you want it to be a loaded out carrier, it can be that too. It's very easy to put 50 points on this ship. Take Picard 8. Now you have any extra slot you want. Take Cheat Death as a talent. Take a good weapon. Take Hood Riker. Now you've got some defense with conversion. Take another crew, Paris, something like that for an extra defense die. You've got good options. Take a systems upgrade if you feel like it. It doesn't really matter what you end up doing. The point of all of this is that the Reliant can be whatever you want it to be. And there are so few ships that are that well-rounded. I'm not going to say that the Reliant is all of a sudden going to make a comeback and take the competitive scene by storm and win the next world championship. But a ship with a 180 forward and a 90 rear arc, that's got potential. 270 degrees of coverage is very nice. There's something there, and people can make use of it. So that's what I'm trying to stress here, is take the Reliant and make something out of it. This pack has really good cards in it, though. Khan is a good captain. Clark Tyrell is a good captain. Chekov, Joachim, really cool crew. I Stab at Thee and Superior Intellect are good talents. It's a solid all-around pack that if you don't have in your collection, you want to have. Khan can go on just about anything, depending on your venue rules. If nothing else, he can go on some of those independent ships, and he makes independents a better faction. So Khan really is good, and this pack is very versatile. It is 2 factions worth of things. It is Federation help, and it is independent help, and it does both very well. So before I begin to ramble too much and spread the love for this ship any more than I already have, I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care.